What were you afraid of most at the beginning?
Deficits, right? Losing the ability to walk or to use my hands, physical impairments, cognitive impairments. I didn't think of cognitive impairments back then. And when it first happened, I was just more focused on I don't want to be left with any physical deficits.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's probably how you recognize somebody that's had a stroke. If you see physical deficits, it makes it quite obvious that a person like that has had some kind of a neurological situation. But then there's the invisible deficits as well, which, plague
Yes.
people after a stroke. Who was it that first helped you make sense of what had happened? Did that take a little bit of time, or, how did you wrap your head around the situation that you found yourself in now?
Yeah, so as I was in the hospital for 6 days, and getting CT scans and MRIs and meeting with the neurologist and the doctors there. And I was in the stroke ward, so there was other peers, and then there was the physical therapy and occupational therapy sessions that I would have. And so I guess everybody was pleasant and nice, but then working with the neurologist at the hospital, I guess he was more the realist. And they said, listen, sir, I was a little bit making light of this. I'm just going to bounce back and I'm going to be fine because the loss of feeling and the complete loss of feeling on my left side only lasted, I would say, for about 36 hours. And then the feeling came back. But my deficit was fine motor skills with my left hand. And so I thought, just another day or so, and I'm going to get all those back. Right. And so that's my philosophy at the time. And then wasn't until meeting with the neurologist at the hospital that put it in perspective. He said, listen, this was not a small stroke. You are going to have deficits. And he said that on a scale of 1 to 10, this was about a 5.5. So he said, you're awfully lucky that this fine motor skill is your only physical deficit, but I guarantee you there's going to be deficits from this. And he was right. But I was incredibly determined to had almost like a perfect life beforehand, right? Everything was going well. So the occupational therapist, they showed me where the self-help table was. And when I wasn't in my room, I was at this self-help table going through all these things. So I would have the formal occupational therapy for with a therapist for an hour a day, but I would work at the self-help table for 2 to 3 hours before my session and 2 to 3 hours after the session. So I was always at that table and working through that,
That
which really helped.